Lyndon B. Johnson assumed the presidency on November 22, 1963, immediately following the assassination of John F. Kennedy, a transition that involved the immediate leveraging of the immense national shock and political chaos of the moment. His initial actions in the remaining weeks of 1963 were intensely political, focused on establishing control and ensuring the continuation of the legislative agenda inherited from his predecessor, specifically the Civil Rights Bill and a major tax cut. This push, which relied on the emotional weight of Kennedy's death to pressure the Democratic-controlled Congress, was widely criticized by some observers as a manipulative use of a national tragedy to advance a political platform. Johnson famously employed his aggressive and intimidating style of lobbying, known as the Johnson treatment, on reluctant members of Congress to force the legislation forward, a tactic viewed by many as coercive. On November 29, 1963, Johnson established the Warren Commission to officially investigate the Kennedy assassination, a governmental act that, while intended to reassure the nation, has remained highly controversial and has been the subject of decades of negative scrutiny regarding its completeness and transparency. In the realm of foreign policy, Johnson inherited and immediately affirmed the United States' commitment to the policy of containment of communism, especially in Southeast Asia. This action, supported by the Democratic administration, was an initial but critical step that maintained the country on a path toward the massive military escalation in Vietnam. Critics view the continuation of this inherited policy in late 1963 as the groundwork for the future expansion of the conflict, a commitment that lacked sound legal or moral justification and led to disastrous consequences. Furthermore, despite his public championship of civil rights, historical records and testimony have exposed Johnson's repeated use of racist and prejudicial language in private, which calls into question the genuine moral nature of his motivations during this pivotal period, suggesting his initial support for civil rights legislation was heavily intertwined with political necessity and calculation.